dining experience at Trio North Wildwood, 700 New Jersey Avenue North Wildwood. Chef-driven, quality-focused, TrioNW.com.
When you hear this,
they've got him again,
and this,
he scored,
and this,
oh boy, what a move by Embiid!
You think of us. We are sports. 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Black Kia Studios.
Oh, what a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
We are another day in to NFL training camp with the Eagles. Plus, the Phillies win the last two games against the Orioles. One of the best teams in baseball. What does it mean? We'll get to all of that here this hour on the Power Hour known as Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. As always, you can join the conversation 609-403-0973. That is the text board. Also, you could DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. We will get to a lot of football this hour, but I absolutely have to start with the Phillies talk because as I was talking with Dave Weinberg about yesterday, and I'll reiterate again today, it feels like this Phillies team is a much better team than a lot of people want to give them credit for. And I think that is one of the biggest parts of all of this. And that is, you have a team that has now beaten almost every good team in the major leagues. You have a Phillies team that beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 in a series, beat the Orioles 2 out of 3 in a series, beat the Diamondbacks, not 1 out of 2, but 3 games down in Tampa. Are people ready to concede that this is a good Phillies baseball team? I'm not sure if they are, but I certainly hope that they are. Because you don't want to take forever to figure out that you are fans of a good baseball team. At some point, you got to figure out that guess what? It doesn't matter some of the things that we complain about. You can complain all you want about the manager. You can complain all you want about Schwarber leading off. You can complain about 20 gazillion things. But the truth is that they're winning ball games. And as far as I'm concerned, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's wherever it is, people got to stop being such complainers about this team. Are you really here to tell me that if Rob Thompson had a different lineup out there, or if Trey Turner was hitting 275 instead of, what is he hitting, 243 or whatever it is, you're telling me that if all these things were different, if the Phillies would have had traded for fill in the blank, that they would be so much better than they really are? I'm serious. I don't know it holds certain people back, but I'm enjoying watching this Phillies team. And I feel like last Last night's game was another opportunity for people to just embrace it. Attendance is up. People are going to the games. People are being entertained. This is a good Phillies team. And I told you guys last week, and I'll repeat it again today here on Game Night. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on 97.3 ESPN. Go through the National League and tell me who are the teams not named the Atlanta Braves or Los Angeles Dodgers that are better than the Phillies. No one's been able to answer this question the last 2 weeks I've asked this. And it's either because people know that I'm right, or they're too embarrassed to try to come up with a good explanation. That they know they're wrong, but they won't come up with an explanation. Or maybe you're just delusional. Whatever the reason is, the Phillies are 55-47. The teams ahead of them in terms of wins are the Atlanta Braves with 64. I mean, they're the best team in baseball, you could argue. They're just a great team. The Milwaukee Brewers, who, yeah, they beat you up a little bit, but they're a team that doesn't have a great pitching staff overall. They just acquired Carlos Santana, who doesn't really fix their pitching staff problems. He helps their offense. Their offense has struggled immensely this year. The Cincinnati Reds, also not a good pitching staff. Fun team to watch, though. San Francisco Giants, good baseball team. I think their pitching staff's a little overrated as well. That's it. Phillies are 55-47. Giants are 56-47. Brewers are 57-46. Reds are 56-48. No one can convince me, or has tried to convince me for whatever reason, that the Phillies are not the third best team in the National League. And we know Dave Dombrowski is going to make a move at the deadline. We know the Phillies are going to make some addition. We saw the Dodgers already make 2 additions last night. Kike Hernandez and Rosario. They got basically 2 very similar players to fill voids. We know Ohtani's not getting traded, which means Trout is not getting traded from the Angels. But the Phillies will make an addition. And I'm excited. I'm fascinated to see what they do the next few weeks, because I think overall, the Phillies, as I said, they're the third best team in the National League. The teams ahead of them are not better than them. They're finally coming around. Harper looks way more comfortable as a hitter right now since he's been playing in the field. You love to see the hitting by guys who come off the bench like Sosa. He was skipping down the baseline, then sprinting around the bases. I loved it last night. I love watching that. And you know what? I'm here for the weekend series in Pittsburgh as well. I'm here for the whole ride. Text board is open, 609-403-0973. We'll dig deeper into the Eagles coming up in about 10 minutes with NJ Advanced Media Eagles beat writer Chris Franklin here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Over on the text board, Andy in EHT chimes in at 609-403-0973. He says, Josh, I love watching the Phillies right now. Even better that the Mets and Yankees are dumpster fires. Actually fun watching baseball again. That's from Andy at EHT. Andy, can I address the second part first? The Mets and Yankees. The Mets, they just feel like a team that was completely mishandled. They spent way too much money on older players, and it didn't work out. They rolled the dice, and basically their best pitcher this year is Kodai Senga. I mean, that's where they are right now, and the Mets could be sellers at the deadline, honestly. I mean, I got to pull up the wild card standings. There's an argument to be made that they should be sellers. Let's see here. The Mets are 7.5 games behind the Phillies in the wild card race. So I think it's fair to say they should be sellers. Should be. We'll see what happens. let's just hope that whoever the Mets trade, they don't trade him within the National League and make some other teams competing with the Phillies better. But the Yankees actually confound me more than the Mets because the Yankees are 54-48. If the Yankees played in the National League Central, they'd be tied for the lead. I'm sorry, they'd have a half game lead in the AL Central right now over the Twins. The Yankees are in last place in the American League East, but they're 2.5 games out of the wild card. So I don't know what to do with the Yankees. I feel like the Mets are completely, rolling down the hill. Yankees just make no sense to me. I mean, it feels like they can't get anything right. It's like no Judge, their offense completely doesn't know what to do half time. And don't forget, they're playing with no Hector Cortez. Carlos Rodon just came back from an injury. That whole team is just a bizarro world. But Andy, you're right. It's fun to watch baseball again when the Phillies are going right. And I'm certainly enjoying it as well. Somebody texted in, are the Dodgers in talks for Arenado? I don't know anything about that. I feel like there are rumors for everybody nowadays. So, I have to look into that a little bit more. I'm sure the Dodgers would love to have him because they could definitely use some more offense. Here it is. George Castillo, the Los Angeles Times, say the Dodgers have called the Cardinals about Nolan Arenado. All right. What am I supposed to do with that? I just said the Dodgers are arguably thinking about seeing the National League. Thanks for playing. Another texter says, yes, the Phillies are having a great season. Preach, Josh. And they sent me a picture of somebody with their hands in the air wearing a Dykstra jersey. Well, credit to you for wearing a Dykstra jersey. It's pretty cool. For a lot of people of my generation, Dykstra was like that dude for the Phillies. Is there a guy that Dykstra's a weird player now because seeing the things he says and does on social media kind of makes you wonder about his sanity at times. But it at least seems like, for a lot of people my age, that 93 Phillies team was the first time that we could remember the Phillies being good. For a lot of people between the ages of 35 and 45, which is my bracket at this point, we don't remember 83. We know 93. So that team, Lenny Dykstra, Darren Dalton, John Kruk, Kurt Schilling, Tommy Green, Danny Jackson, Mitch Williams, Ricky Jordan, Dave Hollins, Jim Eisenreich, all those guys, Pete Incaviglia, that was our wheelhouse. So I got the feeling that the guy who texted in saying, preach, Josh, with the Dykstra jersey is probably in my age bracket. Eric in Manahawkin, I'll get you in before we hit the break here. He says, I have a gripe with Scott Rowland going into the Hall of Fame. One, he went in as a Cardinal. I think he went in as a Cardinal because that's the team that he arguably had the most professional success with. He won a World Series with them. So I think that you have to factor that in. I understand he played long with the Phillies, but only by 1 year. He played with the Phillies 7 years, Cardinals 6 years. So, and with the Cardinals, he got the one World Series, won another World Series. So, I think that's part of the reason why he did that. Also, I feel he's not a deserving Hall of Fame player. Listen, I had this conversation last week about Roland, Eric, and Manhawkin. If you're telling me that Roland is in the Hall of Fame because he's one of the top defensive third baseman in baseball history. I think that's a subjective argument, but it's an argument that you can make. To me, the problem with Rolen is that if you're putting him in the Hall of Fame, Andrew Jones needs to be in the Hall of Fame because Andrew Jones has more Gold Gloves. He has more home runs. But if Rolen is in, to me, Andrew Jones has to be in. So that's more my beef with Rolen being in. It's not with him being in the Hall of Fame. It's with him getting in the Hall of Fame compared to a guy like Andrew Jones. So to me, Eric and Manhawkin, I would say if you have a problem with Rolen being in, I think that what you're saying is that you don't want a guy in because of his defense. That you felt that his resume as a defensive player was not enough to offset his good, not great offensive production. Again, I'm trying to put words in Eric and Manhawkin's mouth, but look, Rolen was not a bad baseball player at all. I mean, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had 7 seasons with at least 92 RBI. But that's 7 out of 17 years. It's not a good ratio. All right, we'll get back to more of your texts a little bit later in the hour. 609-403-0973. You also can DM the show through the 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. Coming up next, Eagles training camp, a couple days in. What do we know so far? Chris Franklin will answer the questions next here on 973 ESPN. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on a Thursday night.
The hunt for October continues on ESPN Radio.
Another home run for Baltimore here in the inning.
While the Baltimore Orioles have fought their way to the top of the AL East, the Yankees are right in the thick of the wild card race, and they go head-to-head in Baltimore this weekend.
Throw to the plate, and he's out at home.
The Yankees and Orioles. Coverage begins Saturday at 6:30 Eastern and Sunday at 6 Eastern. Listen to Major League Baseball on 97.3 ESPN.
Oh, yeah, it's on at Matt Blatt Nissan.
If you're currently stuck in a loan or lease, AJ the Trade Man can get you released. MattBlattNissan.com. It's on at Matt Blatt Nissan on the Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air in a public place in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, at Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right, just slip in to new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down to put them on. You don't even have to touch them. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, this is Josh from 97.3 ESPN. If your air conditioning isn't keeping you cool, or if you're worried about sky-high electric bills, I recommend you call Jenkins Plumbing and Heating today about a new system from American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning or a Mitsubishi ductless system. Take advantage of financing of up to $15,000 from South Jersey Gas or Atlantic City Electric. New AC system can save you 25 to 35% on your AC bill. Call Jenkins at 609-641-6440, online at Jenkins.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Sail into summer in New Jersey. Stroll boardwalks or soar high on the rides. Enjoy iconic shores, history, and culture. From dazzling cities to charming countryside. Find it all at visitnj.org.
You're listening to Game Night with Josh Hennig on the app.
All right, we'll get back to your more of your text in just a bit. Phillies talk, obviously going on throughout the week as the Phillies are in contention. MLB trade line in a few days, but we got to talk about the Eagles. Training camp is back, people. We got position battles and some Eagles news to get to with the man who covers the Eagles for NJ Advanced Media, NJ.com's Chris Franklin joins us right now here on the Elite Acura Hotline on 97.3 ESPN. Chris, welcome back. Football is back. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Can't believe it's already time for training camp. I'm excited. Looking forward to another season, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So let's knock out the minutia at the top here. Derek Barnett is the latest victim of a Howie Roseman restructure. Obviously, it's going to give him, it looks like, some more money up front, but it's going to save the Eagles on the cap. What is your reaction to it? I guess Barnett's in the building for 2 days and Howie Roseman got his fingers in it.
Yeah, it looks like, hey, I think he looks at the opportunity he brings, and we all know his history about Barnett and how well he's done in the past, and the issues of sackles and everything else. So this team was really high on him. Even in 2021, even into 2022 before he tore his ACL. It was really hard to like the pressure that he brought. And, yeah, he's getting the increase in guaranteed money, but he's losing the overall value of the contract. But also, if anything, I think it means that he's got a better shot now at making the team. If anything, now the cap friendly contract, and must be making progress towards his recovery. So it looks like another season with Derek Barnett.
When you think about it, because you mentioned very important, I want to hit on that. You mentioned about what this means for him making the team, and I think for some people out there, I'm gonna be like, wow, the idea this guy's the first round pick might not make the team. Other people are like, oh, good riddance all those penalties in the past, right? So, what do you think Derek Barnett can be on a team that doesn't really need him to be this major impact? I know he was a first round pick, but they don't need him to be the guy they wanted him to be when they picked him 14th overall. They need him to be a part of what they're doing.
Right, and when you look at, you need him to be a productive rotational piece. When you look at what you want Robert Quinn last season that you did, and after that trade, now you're hoping that Robert Quinn become that fourth win per se in that rotation. The second on the right side behind Josh White. You don't even put out double-digit sack numbers. But don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure Sean Desai and the rest of the Eagles will love it if he was able to get 10, 11 sacks. But if you even get like 3 or 4 and just get the consistent pressure or even a couple quarterback hits that are within the legal target zone and not up to the helmet, I think they'll be very happy with that. And it's a far cry from when he was first drafted 2017 and say, oh, he broke Reggie White's sack record in Tennessee, and now you don't need him to be that guy. I mean, it stinks that it's fallen this far, but you don't need him to be that guy. You just want him to be productive, and he has a chance to do that if that means healthy.
When you think about the defensive line overall, how are you feeling like this is going to lay out? Because obviously there is some changes there. No Javon Hargrave anymore. We know that Teron Jackson was cut. He was brought back. we know who the starters are. It's Graham, it's Sweat, and Sweat's more of like the outside linebacker blitzer on the edge. But but the interior is going to look different because you're going to go younger with hoping Davis is ready this year, and the expectation that Carter is going to go out there and look like he's on a mission.
Yeah, you need Davis is probably the most important part of that defensive line right now, and everything's going to fall on him because if in the run game, you look at what he's able to do. We all know that with his size, he can take on two blockers and open one-on-one rush opportunities for everybody else. And now in the pass rush, you just need him to develop two pass rush moves. That's it. And if he can do that effectively and get the same type of attention in the passing game, that's going to open up stuff even more because, as you mentioned, Javon Hargrave, with him being out with the 49ers, you have a hole there. And I know you got drafted Jalen Carter first overall, but if you use that 5-man line and you have Jordan Davis needing to take two guys right there off the jump, you get Jalen Carter one-on-one, I think they'll take those odds as well too. And you have that balance now because if you have Jalen Carter doing as well as he could do, like say if he's rushing on the right side of Jordan Davis, you can't slide the offensive line to the Hassan Reddick side thinking like, okay, if we stop Hassan Reddick and don't worry about anybody else, we're good. You can't do that. There's so much balance and so much talent along that line. As long as they all play up to what they're capable of doing, it could be really good, but it all hinges on Jordan Davis's production.
Is there any concerns about Jordan Davis being what they need him to be, or do you think that he'll come around, that maybe last year was just him figuring things out?
I think there were some things when it came to routine stuff. I think when you look at his weight, the conditioning, I know those were questions there. And when you look at him now this season, one day you see where he's at now when it comes to just his stature and his physical ability, the way he looks compared to last year, he looks more trimmed. He looks like he's in better shape or better conditioned as well too. And he made some changes in the off season. And I think that was the key. Experience always helps. He knows how teams were trying to defend him last year. He's seen a couple of the ways that teams try to block him, and now since you have another year of learning that, he's going to make the countermeasures. But I think overall, it's that's I think the key was learning that consistency, and that's going to have to continue as well too.
We're talking with Chris Franklin, who covers the Eagles for NJ.com and NJ Advanced Media. You can follow him on Twitter at CFranklinNews. Joining us here on the Elite Acura Hotline on 97.3 ESPN. Chris, staying on the defense, new defensive coordinator Sean Desai. We know he's not going to completely overhaul the defense, but we also know that he is much more closely a Vic Fangio disciple than a guy like Jonathan Gannon was, who actually spent a larger amount of time of his career with guys like Mike Zimmer and Matt Eberflus. So what is your perspective on what Sean Desai might do differently with this Eagles team this year?
Well, I think the one thing is if you thought that Gannon didn't blitz enough, I think you're going to see something a lot less than that too. Just look historically at the numbers. So I wouldn't expect seeing these exotic blitz looks as you can. It's going to be it's about the way that the league is trending, with so many fast wide receivers like Tyreek Hill and all those other talented guys, with the speeds that can burn the outside. They just want to keep everything in front of them and make offenses be disciplined and march down the field. And I think that's what you're going to see with Sean Desai. You're going to see a lot of zone, a lot of zone. I think you're going to see that, and that's what's imperative for those safeties. As young as they are and new as they are, it's going to be important for them to play well early on. But yeah, I wouldn't expect a big jump in blitzes. He's going to rely on that defensive line a lot. I mean, when you look at his previous stops that he was involved in, when you look at he's a defensive coordinator in Chicago. When you look at he was a defensive analyst with the Seahawks. Both those years they finished with more than 40 sacks, at least like more than 44 sacks both years. So the sacks he's going to rely on the defensive line. They'll get the sacks that way, but the matter of just not being too vanilla and these quarterbacks, they're going to have to face on the schedule, start just picking apart and death by 1,000 paper cuts.
When you think about the other part of this defense, a lot of people are curious about is who the heck is going to be the safety here, Chris? I mean, last year was obvious. It was C.J. Gardner-Johnson, it was Marcus Epps. Boom, you were done. But you drafted Brown from Illinois. You got Reed Blankenship back this year. You signed Evans. You signed Edmonds. It's like you could go 20 ways from Sunday with this safety situation.
Well, I thought they were going to try a lot of different combinations, even through OTAs, but it's been the same since OTAs. Terrell Edmonds and Reed Blankenship. They're going to be your starters right now. I think Brown. I mean, to me, safety is one of the toughest positions to learn because not only think at like a cornerback where, hey, I'm on the outside. I know I got whatever variation of the coverage zone and then man to man. Okay, got that. Safety, you have to worry about working on the inside, the outside. There's a run looks and all this. It's a lot tougher, I think, especially for a younger safety to get acclimated to that stuff. And I think Brown's going to have to go through those learning curves a little bit. But I like his ball skills. Don't get me wrong. If he's going to get 10 career interceptions as a safety in college, I like that a lot. I like the way he attacks the ball. I just want to see him be consistent when it comes to the run game and tackling, and we'll get to see that as the preseason progresses and see how well he gets to learn these NFL offenses and these route schemes. But I think the future's high. I think if anything, maybe you see Brown being put in a little bit more in, say, 3 safety looks as the season progresses. And who knows, if he continues to play that well, maybe he's playing either Edmonds or Blankenship. But right now, if you look at the opening day, you're going to see Edmonds and Blankenship if they're on the back end.
Talk to me about Nakobe Dean. What is a realistic expectation for him coming into this year?
I think he's a guy that I think he's gonna be a 3-down linebacker. I really do. I think he could be a guy who you can get he probably total like something around like 110, 120 tackles. But similar, like I think similar to like a TJ Edwards did last season. I think you do that. The key is going to be how well he sheds off those offensive linemen, and if those defensive tackles can protect them. Because he's not the biggest guy in the middle there. He's not trust me, he doesn't have the size like a Ray Lewis or anything like that, but he has the instinctiveness of knowing, getting a feel for where the offense is trying to open up the holes, where the play is flowing to. You see that in there. It's a matter of just him getting full-time experience. And the one thing I'm really looking at seeing what he does is he's going to be wearing the green dot. The guy talking direct, the side is going to be directly in his ear, calling defense down what he wants. I want to see how well he gets the other players in the position to counteract what the offense is doing. I think that's going to be the key because Edwards did such a great job at it in trying to. You saw one thing and he got him into the right look a lot of times, was able to allow the defensive line to get some pressure. So I think Dean, if he gets something like 120 tackles, an interception or two, and just doesn't get beat a lot by tight ends in the middle of the field, I think that'll be okay for him.
See, I don't get the whole Nakobe Dean size thing, Chris, and here's why. And you could tell me if my rationalization is wrong. You're more than allowed to tell me I'm ridiculous, be ridiculous. But,
okay,
to me, Dean, it depends on what website you look at, right? Dean is somewhere between 7 to 10 pounds lighter than what Roquan Smith is listed at. And he's an inch shorter than Roquan Smith. But yet no one ever says Roquan Smith is too small, right? So Why are we saying that about Dean? Why are we acting like Dean is like this tiny little man when he's literally almost the same size as one of the best tackling machines in the NFL?
Those 7 to 10 pounds make a huge difference, I think, when it comes to, you can be quick to get there, but if you have some of these, and we've seen these guards, the way they've been able to come down the line and get to that second level and manhandle some of those guys and open up and turn what should be a 2 or 3 yard game into 7, 8, 9 yards, and all of a sudden put your team in second or third and short. I think that's where the key is going to be because, guy could put up 600 pounds like in bench press and all that stuff. That's fine, but it's a matter of being in the right place at the right time and having getting low enough to get under that pad level so that you don't have, oh wow, here comes I see he's a ball carrier. Oh wait, there's the guard. Poof, he's out. And like, oh great. And he's looking on the backside, and when we saw that all the time, like Singleton and all that stuff when that happened too. So I think that's the biggest thing when he halts the size. I think that's the biggest key thing when talk about guys like that.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out when they actually get the real football hitting during the season. Chris, you just mentioned offensive line. Let's flip to that O-line. That right guard position is going to be in full focus for all of us for the next several weeks. So my first question is Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey correct when they say that Cam Jurgens is bigger?
Yeah, I think when you look at thicker, I don't think it's anything like too noticeable or anything big. I think that's big. That's the key thing. But I'm still worried. LA's on the schedule, and that means Aaron Donald's going to be on there if he's healthy at the time, and
Right.
they're going to put him right over that legacy. Do we put Aaron Donald over Landon Dickerson or Cam Jurgens, where I think he has that size advantage and he can try to be disruptive? He's going to fight that. And listen, I think Jurgens is smart enough to know. I mean, because we heard Jeff Stoutland talks about his blocking, about blocking, how important it is to make sure they protect Jalen Hurts when it comes to that. He'll know what to do. It's a matter of the hand placement and preventing those bull rushes. And I think he'll be okay when it comes against some of those quicker defensive linemen that rely on their speed. But when it comes to those bull and pass rusher guys, those are the guys that I'd be worried about. And I really want to see it. Unfortunately, when it comes to preseason, good luck trying to see some of these starters in there when it comes to that. But I think the biggest test we're going to see, unfortunately, is going to be either those joint practices when they play the Browns and the Colts, or first game in this regular season.
It's interesting because over the years, I was talking about this earlier this week, Chris, that, over the years, the guy between Lane Johnson and Jason Kelce has almost been like a protection for Kelce at times. Brandon Brooks was a massive man, right? Seumalo was no small guy either. So, like, over the years when the Eagles had their success, it was with Kelce next to a large man. I just don't know how it's going to work for a guy who is arguably the same, if not smaller than Kelce is, in between him and Johnson. And I don't even know if Tyler Steen is the answer either. For me, I would want to see Jack Driscoll get some more playing time at right guard, but for whatever reason, Jurgens is getting the first team snaps initially.
I like when it comes to Driscoll, I like him as a better tackle, just on the right side. I think you let him focus on that. Move Kelly over to the left, let him focus on that. Steen, I'm intrigued by. I think he's got the footwork to get down. He's just got to get used to playing in that proverbial phone booth. He's not only outside by himself, he's playing in between two guys. He has the size. It's a matter of him learning the position itself. And it's still early. We only have one day to really see him in training camp, to see him try to do that and learn it. And there's still some things. So he's still got some things to learn about that as well too. So I think it's the best option you have, at least right now, because unless Brandon Brooks says, you know what, I'm tired of you, Penn. I want to come back for another year. Yeah, I think they're stuck with that.
I think Brooks is I think he's doing pretty good health wise. So I think I think he's in a good place. I don't think it's like I made the comment to someone, for those who don't know, I wrote an article on our website at 973ESPN.com about Joe Flacco being down in Stern Harbor. And I'm like, well, yeah, Joe Flacco's living the good life right now. He doesn't want to come back and get hit by anybody else. It's like, people forget, like, when these guys stop playing, like, there's a part of them. It's like, I like the idea of playing football, but I don't know if I want to get hit anymore.
Let's see, relaxing, sitting in a chair, looking at the Stone Harbor beach and hearing the ocean waves, or relaxing, sitting back at a training table, trying to get treatment over and over again and getting injectables, or getting ice back and everything. Yeah, I think Joe's one of those retired guys. I think you have to get him early. You have to get him like 2 weeks out. Like, I'm retired. You should come back. And then you got a shot. Longer and longer. All of a sudden, civilian life looks very good.
Speaking of training table, are you disappointed we're not going to get any Netflix quarterback footage of Jalen Hurts during in between games here?
Yeah, he's a very. I kind of am, because he's by design, he's very guarded, and he's focused on the team. He wants to be that leader, captain. But I would love to see more and more of that personal side of him. He's so focused when he's up on the podium of talking about a team, and it's kind of a thing where you want it's perfect that you want your quarterback to be talking about that and to be the leader he is. From the reporter side of it, it's like, I want to see more and more. I want to talk more and more about this side, which is a tough nut to crack at times. But, it's one of the reasons why he's such a young captain, and one of the reasons why his team has gravitated to him, because they've drawn to him, because he doesn't want to make it about him. He wants to make that final mission about going to the Super Bowl, and not just going there, but winning it as well, too. So, and maybe 2025, 2026, maybe we get him at quarterback. I hope. Maybe if they go to win the Super Bowl, maybe we see it open. So who knows?
I mean, maybe they should just film him and not tell him that they're there, then ask for permission later, like, hey, Jalen, come in here. You can review the tape with us. And you can let us know what we can put out there. Maybe, I don't know. Like, it's just
the new Truman Show.
right. The Truman Show. Right. Well, it's like, Frank, I don't know. Did you watch the Netflix quarterback show?
I'm three episodes in. I'm 3 episodes in on that one too. And it's been I like the way it's put because I know you have the family aspect. You're learning about that, which is kind of cool too. But you see what these guys go to prepare for a game, and
right.
I still feel like I'm hurting right now when I heard it cracking it back. I'm still screaming about that a little bit. But yeah, you see what they go through, and I like that detail they put into that series, and I would love to know that about Hurts too.
Yeah, see, I love it. I watched all 8 episodes. I will tell you right now, though, Chris, the 8th episode, it's kind of slugs. It kind of drags a little bit because without the other 2 guys as heavily involved in that episode, because they're both out of the playoffs at that point, it kind of felt like it was a little too much Mahomes after a while in that episode. But I thought the series overall is great. I love learning all the different things. And I told people, Chris, I think you walk away from that series like you want Kirk Cousins to be your neighbor. You understand Marcus Mariota, and you don't think that Patrick Mahomes' wife is a psycho anymore.
Wait, you mean tell me they didn't take the final episode, they don't take Kirk Cousins walking around Kohl's, picking out different shirts and thinking, I don't feel like I want to watch this anymore now. I'm done now. But yeah, you do want to know about these guys because I think there's a thing. I think even before I was a reporter, it was like you see these players just like, okay, you see them Sundays, you see them on the news, what have you, where they just get going, but you realize more there are people behind it. Like there are lives behind it. There's origin stories to everything, and you want to know more and more about it. And when you have series like that, it just gives you more of appreciation, for not only just being an NFL player, but also being a player playing that position. I like those documentary type stuff.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're going to love it up through the first 7 episodes. And then episode 8, you're going to be like, they probably could have cut maybe like 15 minutes out of that episode kind of thing. Now, there's a great Easter egg, though. Here's the thing. When you watch episode 8, if you catch the Easter egg, you got to text me. Okay?
Okay, I will.
Because there's a moment in that episode that made me laugh because I don't think they realized what they admitted to with allowing part of the footage be in that 8th episode.
This is a good tease. All right, I know I got to prepare for tomorrow, but I think I might have to binge this series. so if I'm dragging at the press conference, guys, we know what happened. I want to for tomorrow morning, but no, it's a good tease. I promise I will definitely text as soon as I finish that one. I'll definitely text to see if I found that Easter egg.
Because like when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, I actually had to rewind it because I was like, did I see and hear that right? It was definitely a fun little moment, but yeah, dude, I tell people all the time, people do not realize Kirk Cousins was basically playing the entire season in like a grotesque amount of pain. Like it's just like it's cringe.
Well, yeah. What do you mean when you see guys going out there when he goes to the training room and getting the treatment and everything just to get ready for the week? They say, they always say like you're not ready feeling like yourself, like normal-ish. To say until Saturday, then you got to put your body out there again to be in a bunch of collisions, then start the process all over. You have to do that for not only 17 regular season weeks, but you hope 3 games in the playoffs too. So it's not. It may look like an easy game to play when you're in the backyard or everything else. When you get to the NFL level and what you have to put your body into, what you have to prepare. Oh yeah, you got to study as well too, and look at all this tape and everything. It's incredible what these guys can do.
Follow him on Twitter, Chris Franklin at C Franklin News, covers the Eagles for NJ.com and NJ Advanced Media. He has all of the latest random video footage from practice up there. Some of it is useful. Some of it is just kind of feels like Chris realized that he probably hasn't tweeted in about 5 minutes. So go check it all out at C Franklin News. Chris, I appreciate you jumping on. I appreciate your putting up with me as much as you do, and take care of yourself. Okay.
I appreciate it. In the words of Ron Birdie, you cut me to the core. Like, back, you got me to the core. I appreciate it.
And Chris Franklin joined us on the Elite Acura hotline. Visit Elite Acura during the Summer Performance event located on Route 73 North in Maple Shade, online at EliteAcura.com. I mean, I had to bust his chops because he literally has one of the videos he posted on Twitter. There's no caption for it. There's literally a tweet that there's literally no caption for it at all. Like, all these tweets have captions on them, and they got the one video just has no caption. It's almost like you just like hit send, like, you know, Herman Edwards says don't press send. It's like Chris hit send and then realized he hit send. He's like, never mind. It's 30 seconds of practice. People want to see this. That's C Franklin News on Twitter. We'll get back to you guys. Text on the other side, 609-403-0973. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on a Thursday night.
Hi, this is Billy Schwein from the Locker Room. Join me and former Chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, Dan Adams, and former Lieutenant of the Ocean City Beach Patrol, Jack Brooks, Friday for 97.3 ESPN's live broadcast of the Dutch Hoffman Memorial Lifeguard Races from Wildwood.
97.3 ESPN's live coverage of the Dutch Hoffman Memorial Lifeguard Races is being brought to you by Surfer Supplies, located at 3101 Asbury Avenue in Ocean City, serving up Stoke since 1962. McCann Realtors of Sea Isle City. Experience the McCann difference. Family owned since 1939. Blitz's Market, located at 21st and Asbury in Ocean City, voted best deli 7 years running. Now serving freshly squeezed orange juice. And by All Campus Sports, located at 1028 Boardwalk in Ocean City, with over 500 college and professional sports teams, hats in stock. Don't miss the Locker Room with Billy Schwein's live coverage of the Dutch Hoffman Memorial Lifeguard Races tomorrow at 6 p.m. here on 97.3 ESPN.
Experience the future of luxury SAVs at BMW of Atlantic City, where the all-new 2024 BMW X5 is waiting for you. Take advantage of our exceptional offer and drive home a new 2024 BMW X5 xDrive 40i for $949 a month for 36 months. Visit BMW of Atlantic City, closer than you think, located in Egg Harbor Township and online at bmwatlanticcity.com. For more details, call 609-316-2393.
Welcome back to Total Wine.
Hey, Ruthie, I need help filling the ultimate beach cooler.
Well, we have the most hard seltzers and amazing canned cocktails anywhere, and at the lowest prices in town. Always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, be 21.
Keeping your kids safe is a full-time job. Whether it's putting on outlet covers, installing child gates, or gluing down your priceless vase. So Duracell made one part of childproofing simple. Our lithium coin batteries are the only ones coated in a non-toxic bitterant to help discourage swallowing. Your kid is safer, and you've got one less thing to worry about. Or glue down. Duracell, engineered for more. Available in 2032, 2025, and 2016 sizes.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air, in a public place, in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stopped, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text PLACE to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text PLACE to 200-300 right now. Text the word PLACE to 200-300. Don't wait. Text PLACE to 200-300.
Save thousands at Matt Blatt Kia. Get out of your old trade today, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Go to mattblattkianj.com for more details. That's mattblattkianj.com.
It's got to be a Matt Blatt. Now, more game with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
I want to remind everybody tomorrow night, as you just heard the promo earlier, no game night tomorrow night. I will be filling in for Mike Gilden's Sports Bash from 2 to 6, and then Billy Schwein will have the live coverage of the Dutch Hoffman Memorial Lifeguard Races tomorrow night at 6 o'clock here on 97.3 ESPN. So I will not be on from 6 to 7 tomorrow. I will be on from 2 to 6. Just a little programming reminder for you guys out there. 0973, so you can DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle's Shaner and EHT chimes in. Says, I was born in 81. I do remember Pete Rose's helmet flying off, but my first understanding of the game, I remember Tommy Green's no-hitter. That's from Shaner and EHT. Yeah, the Tommy Green no-hitter was definitely a really cool moment for a lot of Phillies fans. That was definitely a big moment then. Dan EHT chimes in and says, did the Phillies make a mistake signing Trey Turner? It's hard to believe that Sosa is playing better this year. Turner is terrible at the plate right now, and he's been below average defensively. Here's the thing, Dan. I don't think they made a mistake signing Turner, but for whatever reason, whether your name is Trey Turner or Xander Bogaerts or Dansby Swanson, a lot of these guys who were big free agents this past year who changed teams, they all not playing well this year. And by the way, the guy who was the World Series MVP last year, Jeremy Pena, he's having a poor year for the Astros playing shortstop as an offensive player. So, I mean, maybe there's just a lot of guys rubbing down years this year. Maybe Trey Turner's one of them. By the way, shout out to Sean in Waretown, who was asking about Andrew Jones. So the reason I said it's Andrew Jones instead of Andrew Jones, because for those who don't know, and Sean asked for the clarification. So Andrew or Andrew Jones' name is spelled Andruw Jones. And I've heard broadcasters say Andrew. I've heard others say Andrew because Jones's heritage is a little different, right? So Jones, I believe, Hispanic. I have to double check exactly what his background is, but yeah, basically, he's from Curacao. That's it. Jones is from Curacao. So, and there's a rumor out there that actually Jones's name was maybe like misspelled when he was born, and that's why the pronunciation is different. But a shout out to Sean and Ware. Thanks for chiming in. Andrew Jones. Curacao. It's been an interesting show. I'm Josh Hennig. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock here on 97.3 ESPN.
South Jersey business owners, when Eagles football returns to the airwaves this season, don't miss out. Make sure your business is a part of the Philadelphia Eagles season with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick on 97.3 ESPN. Touchdown! Every week, the NFL's most passionate fan base flocks to 97.3 ESPN radio to listen to their favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Advertising with the Eagles can help your business connect with the consumers you are trying to reach. 97.3 ESPN is the most listened to sports source in all of South Jersey. That's what makes 97.3 ESPN such a powerful station for your business's message. So this Eagles season, don't have your business sitting on the sidelines. Be a part of the Philadelphia Eagles season on 97.3 ESPN. To be a part of the Eagles season, call Market President Mike Rubel at 609-910-5249.